Hello and welcome to The Singer's Piano, where we talk about everything to do with piano, vocal and songwriting for self-expression and healing. Now, in today's session, I wanted to talk to you about the belief that you have in yourself. And there's, in particular, 3 belief systems that really are not serving you and are keeping you stuck in your piano, vocal and songwriting dreams. So if you're feeling like you're too old to learn to play an instrument, you're not good enough, or you just don't have any time, but there's something in your stomach, something that's like calling you to learn to sing and play piano, but you honestly don't know how to kind of overcome these limiting beliefs and these fears, then I really hope that this video will help you, because I have gone through all of these myself. Now, why is this so important? Well, I think the reason why you're watching this video is because you have a dream. And that dream is to express yourself as a piano, vocal and songwriter. And maybe you've had that dream since you were a little girl, but things have stopped you. So maybe you had a family or you had a career, and whatever it is that has stopped you, you are maybe now at a time in your life where you're like, it's now or never. So you're kind of back is against the wall. But how do I actually break through that fear? And interestingly, I had a conversation last night with someone about just that. One of my students actually, she said, I have wanted to do this for years. I've been thinking about doing this for years. And there's something that makes me feel like I'm not good enough, that I don't take the risk. And so this is what we're going to break down. I would like to share with you a case study. One of my amazing students, Amy Barnhart, she actually turned 60 a few months ago, and Amy is rocking it. So before she started with The Singer's Piano, she maybe wrote 1 song a year, and she hadn't actually done much with her music since she was 30. Like, she's 60, right? Anything is possible. She is thriving now. She has created an EP. She is looking to market her music online. She is looking to do it. In fact, we're not looking to do it. She is doing it. So first of all, if you believe that you are too old, I promise you, my friend, you are not too old. So let's address one of the biggest things that I see a lot, which is I don't feel good enough. And I want you to start to think about music in a different way. So we think of music as a result. So we go, once I am a good enough singer, I'll be a musician. Once I am good enough at playing the piano, I will be a musician. But here's the big but. We shouldn't approach music like that. And the reason being is because you will get to that level and then you will still never feel good enough. And then you'll get to the next level and you'll still never feel good enough. And the reason is that as a musician, we are always progressing. Always. I'm still progressing. I'm still practicing. There's still so much stuff that I feel like I'm not good enough. And that is the wonderful thing about music, is that you never reach that cap where you finally go, oh, I made it. Oh my gosh, I'm an amazing musician. You just will never get there. And I see this a lot. So I work with sacred money archetypes, and I see this a lot with my nurturers and also my accumulators. So if you have done my quiz, and you can literally click on the link in the comments to do this quiz, and it will identify your top 3 out of 8 personality traits. Now, if you are a nurturer, you will never feel good enough. I have nurturer in my top 3. I will never feel good enough. It just is the way it is, yeah? So instead of not feeling good enough, I go, well, you know what? I've done my best. I've worked my hardest. I've rehearsed. And maybe I don't feel good enough, but that's also driving me. So you want to kind of turn the not feeling good enough on its head to actually think about it as maybe that is your driving force. Now, what you don't want to do is to be paralyzed because you don't feel good enough. You want to see it as a driving force that will make you feel that you are ambitious, that you're heading towards the next thing and the next thing and the next thing, which will ultimately make you a better musician. And then I want to address as well the accumulators of you out there, because I work with a lot of accumulators. So accumulators, you have to have everything perfect. And this is the thing with music, is that when you are expressing your soul, it actually is better to not be perfect. Because if you see a musician that is perfect, often they're soulless, yeah? Have you seen that before where you've seen classical singers and they just don't have the soul, but they hit the note perfectly? So I have watched Ray Davis for years. My husband works with him, and he is not perfect any stretch of the imagination, but he has got soul. He expresses himself. The whole room is jumping up and down, listening to his music and loves what he does, but he's not perfect. And he doesn't pretend to be perfect, because music is about connecting with people. And often if you're perfect, you don't really connect with people. So I want you to see, learning to sing and play the piano, you don't have to be perfect, and you will never be good enough. So just acknowledge that. It's okay, yeah? Because there's always going to be different stages. And then as well, if you're going to be setting yourself goals with being good enough, maybe set yourself some realistic goals. Maybe you just say this week, okay, I'm going to learn 3 chords if you're a beginner, or I am going to learn the inversions if you're an intermediate, or I am going to learn how to sing with my diaphragm. Keep the goals realistic, because that's another thing, right? I'm not good enough. It's got to be perfect, but yet we set ourselves incredibly complex goals that we really don't need to. So that is not being good enough. Now, that bugbear of time. Oh my gosh, I have a 2-year-old. I have an 11-year-old. I have a full-time business. So I understand what it means to not have any time. And I think the biggest thing that I have learned is, first of all, you set the intention of what you're going to do and you make it a priority. Now, it doesn't mean you have to practice an hour every single day. You might just carve out 45 minutes a week. Like, how many things on Netflix have you watched this week? I know I have. Like, I'm currently in the middle of Virgin River, and I've literally binge watched it for the past 2-3 weeks. And I'm sure you guys are the same. Maybe not Virgin River. And you think how long those episodes are, like 45 minutes to an hour. And all I'm asking you is 45 minutes a week. Can you see what I'm saying? You do have time. But I think what you're scared of is that, 1, you don't think you're going to make the most of this time, or 2, you're not going to get as good as you would like to in that amount of time. So I want you to be kind to yourself and just, again, set yourself those small, realistic goals so that you feel like you have achieved something. And another thing, this is key here. At the end of the week, I don't want you to assess what your results were. I want you to assess what your actions were. Yeah, that's really important, because even if you play for 45 minutes, to you, you might go, well, that wasn't perfect. That wasn't good enough. But you know what? You did it. You did it. And am I right or am I wrong? Is if you did that 45 minutes every single week, wouldn't you get better? It may not be in the amount of time that you want it to be, but you will get better. Yeah. So that's what I'm talking about with time. You do have time. You just have to be patient with yourself. And then finally, I'm too old. I'm too old to learn to play the piano. I've got this dream. I want to play and sing, but I'm too old. Well, if Amy Barnhart can do it at 60, so can you. In fact, again, I want you to reframe what's going on in your head right now. Why do you think you're too old? Is it because you want to be famous and you want to be signed to a record label and you want to be like Katy Perry or Taylor Swift? Well, yeah, maybe the likelihood is you are too old. I'm too old, 42. I very much doubt that a record company would sign me. But are you doing music for that reason? Do you want to do music for that reason? Or do you want to be able to express yourself? Do you want to be able to sing at a party and impress your friends? Do you want to release an EP of your own and share it on the internet and have people love it? Because if that's what you want to do, you could be any age. You really don't have to be young. Now, again, you might be thinking, yeah, but young people, they've got energy. I don't have the energy. I tell you, music will give you the energy because it gives you vibrancy and it gives you creativity. And not only that, but you're activating the vagus nerve as well. So you're actually lowering your cortisol levels. You're bringing more oxygen in because you're using your diaphragm. So it's actually amazing for health benefits as well. So I hope that has helped you to reevaluate what your beliefs are And let me know in the comments below, what is one thing that is really holding you back right now? Is it that you think it's your lack of time? Is it that you think you're too old? Or is it you think that you're not good enough? Because I promise you that it wouldn't be any of those three. And I think what they're actually doing is they're helping you. And the reason why these limiting beliefs are helping you is because they're keeping you safe. If you don't do it at all, you haven't failed. Now, I honestly don't believe that there is such a thing as failure in music, because every single wrong note that you play is a mistake, and it's a way for you to learn the piano, right? Oh, oops, okay. After a while, you'll start to hit the right note. That's just muscle memory in your fingers or muscle memory in your voice. That's it. So let's get less attached to the results. Let's get less attached to what other people think of you. And let's think more about your dream. What is it that you really want to do? What is it that has been whispering into your ear for years? And why don't you start to listen to it? I hope this has been of help. If you have enjoyed this, click on the link below to get the quiz to find out if you're a nurturer or you're an accumulator. And I will see you in next week's video. And as always, if you have enjoyed this, please click subscribe, and I will see you next week. Take care. Bye.